everyone, this is Diamond Suri from Canwings Consultants Private Limited. Welcome once again. Although I do my weekly YouTube sessions, but this one is a little important, a little critical because we are going to talk about the critical skills and sectors here. As you all must have been waiting for the 27th of August because South Australia was to release its occupation list as well as the nomination criteria, a lot of you have been pinning a lot of hopes on this interim list, hoping that their occupation would figure out on this list and they'll be able to apply for a nomination. Well, realistically speaking, I was not really depending upon it because you have to understand it this way. All states in Australia have been allocated interim lists by the Immigration Department to address the critical skills shortages that the Australian Immigration Department is facing at this time. Now, broadly, people were of the opinion that a critical skills essentially means only healthcare professionals or those supporting the logistics related to the healthcare professionals. It is not so. First of all, let me explain to you when we talk about critical shortages, what exactly does that mean? If you go on to the Immigration Department's Home Affairs website, they have elaborated on the concept of critical shortages. You will be surprised, even sectors such as, now I'm going to read it out to you, such as, of course, the medical services, supply of essential goods, telecommunications, engineering, critical infrastructure, logistics, agriculture, food production, financial sector, technology, all these occupations that support the delivery of health services are critical shortages occupations. In fact, the couple of states I'd like to refer to, that is Tasmania and Canberra, which have released a critical shortage list, but of course the nominations have been opened only to residents of their states. So technically they don't affect you, but at least they'll give you a fair understanding of what critical skills mean. So you must have seen that they have opened up occupations such as financial investment advisor or engineering technologist or ICT professionals. So it is not just related to the health industry. A lot of other industries, a lot of other occupations go on to make the critical shortage list that the Australia is referring to. However, having said that, technically speaking, it's of no use to you because they are basically, during these interim lists, they are inviting applications from those who are currently in Australia. And the reason why they are doing so is something probably you're not comprehending right now. It's not that they are kind of, trying to give preference to Australians or let's say those living in Australia over those living overseas, but because an interim list has been created to address the needs immediately. And since owing to the COVID, there is, the borders are closed and there's a visa involved, which is a lengthier process for those who have to travel from overseas, they are obviously trying to meet their critical shortages by people or from people who are currently residing in Australia and most preferably within that state. So you can say that the requirements for skilled professionals in Australia is so acute, the need is so acute. There's so many vacancies, so many occupations that they need, and they need people to come and fill up those jobs, that the Immigration Department of Australia finds it hard to wait until October when they will release the quotas to all the states, and the states will be in return able to invite applications for nominations. So just get a very clear sense here, and I want to just clear the air about a lot of confusions that people might have. Some people have been expressing since morning that we're very disappointed that they're not inviting applicants from overseas. So what's the use of South Australia opening? What was the use of Canberra opening? What was the use of Tasmania opening? Please look at it this way. They are obviously going to fill up their critical shortages from those who are within Australia at this time, but at least look at the larger picture that Australia still requires these occupations. So any kind of uncertainty regarding your occupation being removed or any uncertainty about the fact that probably Australia is not too keen on taking more applications from a certain occupation group should stay rested. You should be sure that since critical shortage list पे आपका occupation आ रहा है, तो obviously main shortage list पे तो आएगा ही आएगा. And anybody who is right now initiating the process will obviously be only looking at the October nominations, because you have a huge milestone to cover first, which is the skills assessment. Once your skills assessment is done and once you're done with your English proficiency score, then you will be in a position to avail the nominations that can be open anytime after 6th of October. So I hope I have made myself very clear here that the interim lists that are opened and that are to open, first of all, do not imply just a few 3 or 4 occupations. They imply a whole gamut of occupations. A lot of industries are involved in the concept of critical skill shortages, and this is not what you should be focusing on. Interim list is not your thing. It is not meant for you, to speak technically. You should be targeting the nominations that are to open in October. So it should neither be disappointing or disheartening. It should just be an assurance for you that these occupations continue to remain on their shortage list, and we have every reason to believe that these occupations will be carried forward in the main lists in October. So with this, I'd like to end it here. Those of you who are still in the process of thinking whether to get started with this skilled migration process for Australia, please stop thinking, get started. With the 491 visa in place, the rules could not be easier. You could not think of getting more points than you get now under the 491 visa. Please stop being adamant about 189 and 190. Again, I'm repeating, and I've been saying it consistently in all my videos, please focus on 491, 491, 491. Because the opportunities you will be getting, the kind of occupations that will be available for nomination under 491 visa will not be available under 190. And despite you having a very high point score, the chances of getting an invitation to apply for a visa under 189 will be lesser, and the chances of you getting a nomination under 491 state sponsored, not relative sponsored, state sponsored, remain very, very high. So please do share your CVs with us. We would love to review your CVs and get back to you with a quick advice. And then I'd like you to sign up real quick. And for certain occupations, we may have to go in for a priority processing, because you may not have enough time to get your skills assessment done well in time under the standard processing. So we may take those applications to fast track or priority processing to be sure that we are well placed for nominations that are to open up in October. So our number remains the same, 78498 78498. You can email us on canwings@gmail.com, CANWINGS@gmail.com. Send us your CVs. Talk to us, whatever issues you have, whatever clarifications you need, please write to us. We'll be more than happy to address your queries and resolve your concerns. Until next time, this is Diamond Sodhi. Please take care. Bye-bye.